Next up, one of our most notable coaches here in the state of Colorado, 17 years previously at Lincoln, and now entering his second season as the head coach for the men's basketball program for the South Ravens, Vince Valdez. That's where I'm going to start. In what ways do you respect, in what ways do you think that's important to now be a South Ravens basketball team?
Well, I really, really want to applaud our administration and our teachers, and just we have a fantastic group of a leadership team, as Principal Bobby Thomas likes to call it. And, it's something that we were very proud of. It was a progressive movement. It was something that Mr. Thomas wanted to do for, a little bit of time now. And after all the events that transpired this summer, I think that was really incentive enough or reason enough for Mr. Thomas to make that move. And it's just been exciting to be a part of it. Obviously there's some tradition with obviously Rebels being the South Rebels before that. But this will be the first graduating class of the South Ravens, and we're proud of that as well. So it's an exciting time to be at South, and I support it 100%.
And that move represents what South wants to be forevermore. But also, how about with just your core group of guys, your basketball team? What do you think it represents? How do you explain what that is? How do they think?
Well, I think they embrace it because it's something that we're not afraid to talk about. I think we're a very diverse team anyway, and I know that they're all on board with it. And if anything, I think they're proud to be also representing where South is moving towards, and that's a progressive and inclusive school. And so they're proud of it. They really are. They're proud to be a part of the new South Ravens basketball program.
Vince Valdez, second-year head coach for the South Ravens basketball team. Now, you guys with the install of the Ravens mascot, and then getting the swag, getting the uniform set, there's been some challenges, some nuances. How do you explain all that?
That really has. So interestingly enough, this was our uniform year, and I ordered the uniforms this summer, and about 2 weeks later, it was determined that we were going to change the mascot. And so I call up Nike and I said, and I'm like, hey, stop the presses, please don't print those. And of course, found out it was too late. They'd already gone to print, and we had put Rebels on the white uniforms, on the home uniforms. So long story short, even though we didn't know what we were going to be at that point, we knew we were no longer going to be the Rebels. I had to order some new uniforms, and thankfully enough, there was a parent in the community. He wants to remain anonymous, and I assured him that I would do that. But he's a proud supporter of South, and he was all about it. And he's if I could give you one hint, he's probably the most famous basketball player to ever play in Denver, and had a heck of a career in the NBA. So I'll leave it at that.
Nice hint, and you are coming from the Denver Prep League.
That's right.
There you go. More on that install of the mascot and getting the gear ready for all of the squads, not just the basketball team. You're wearing the S right now, right? The purple S?
Right, yeah. That's just the S with...
There was an issue with that, right? Can you explain what that was?
Absolutely. So interestingly enough, this S is the same S that Stanford uses, and obviously different colors. But we found out that when we were going through this whole redesign, if you will, that Stanford was sending cease and desist letters to schools that were using that S. So we had to come up with an S that was all our own, basically. And so Adam Kelsey, our athletic director, and our football coach was involved, and so was our cheerleading coach. They kind of came up with something together, and it looks really good. I really like it, and it's something that's all our own.
Yeah, I think it's a sharp look. You're forced to stylize it even a little more,
and it still, in a sense, honors the old S and what we're using, and obviously it incorporates the new.
I think when we talk about these things, and right now we're specifically talking about South High School in Denver, but I mean, you are so attached to all that is City of Denver basketball, the Denver Prep League, 2 championships in '07 and '08, back with Lincoln High School. We'll call it just short of 20 years as a head coach. I think it was kind of a quiet entry for you last season, and here you are approaching that second season. So, now that we're here, Vince, why is it so special for you? You think of who your head coaching fraternity is within just the league. Rudy Carey, Grant Lehman, Reggie Hammonds, your buddy Mike Brookhart. Why is this all special for you to be a part of that group in this league?
Well, as you mentioned, I mean, I'm a DPS guy. Obviously graduated from Lincoln High School, taught completely solely within Denver Public Schools. The 3 stops obviously being Lincoln for 17 years. Was a dean of students at East High School for 3 years, and then was lucky enough to come over to South. So it means a lot to be back. It really, really does. It was a tough journey back. It really, really was. And it really, it helped me to really appreciate the opportunity that I had at Lincoln. And I really appreciate even more so the new opportunity I have at South, because it was a tough road back. It really was, but it's great to be back.
What made it so tough for you getting back to this point here?
Well, I'll tell you what. So I kind of left Lincoln kind of just in the middle of summer. No one even expected it.
Right.
I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
And we decided as a family that this was the right move. I went into sales for a year. Realized just how tough sales really is, but it was a good experience for me. It really, really was. And then after a year in sales, I was able to get on at East as a dean of students, and that was a great experience as well. It was a great experience. I didn't do any coaching. I was going to help Rudy out. It just didn't work out. And the more I was around it, the more I missed basketball, the more I wanted back. And I interestingly enough, I ran into Adam Kelsey, our athletic director, at a track meet when I was covering for East. And I told him, I said, I'll tell you what, if that basketball job ever opens up at Denver South, I'm gonna be the first one calling you for sure. So, and that's what happened.
Yeah, that's above my level to be in a position that Adam Kelsey is the athletic director for South High School. But you think about his resume, right? He's coached some ball games himself. He loves the game. And since he knew what you were, I'll bet when the opportunity came to get a hold of Vince Valdez, he jumped on that. And it's just a great fit.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do. And Adam and I even talked about that last night, yesterday afternoon. We went to lunch after the game. And I told him how much it meant to me that he trusted me with his program, because Adam's been at South for 20 years, right. and South basketball is his baby. And the fact that he trusted me with that meant a lot. And it also helps that, he's a basketball mind himself. He was a great coach, still is a great coach. He's been coaching, his son and kind of our feeder teams and whatnot. So he's still very much involved. Yeah. So we did discuss that, how much it meant to me that he trusted me with a program that he's been a part of for 20 years now.
Sales didn't work out for you, Vince, but let's market what you got now, which is your basketball program. Your 2021 South team, who are a couple or maybe 3 leaders for this particular season.
Absolutely. So we're very young. We're a very young team. We are majority sophomores, but we do have some seniors. We have 4 seniors. One that really has come to mind, and he is without a doubt our most improved, and that's Henos Fitwe. He's our point guard. He started to get some college attention. He just really, really improved between last year and now. And so Henos is doing a great job for us. And then we have 2 really great shooters in our sophomores, and that's Tyler Hunsinger and Joe Garcia. They are really, really gifted shooters. And what I really like about them is they're starting to appreciate things outside of just shooting. Like they're really trying to they value sharing the ball, defending, playing both ends. And so I'm really excited for those 3, just, and I could go on and on about all our guys, but those are 3 for sure that are really impressed me this far.
When I think of your history and what you might want to be accomplishing in your long-term goals, if you name those 3 guys, how does that fit where, of course, we're obviously going to recollect to your most successful times, which is when you had Jorge Gutierrez, Paco Cruz, Hector Hernandez. Do those guys fit what we might have seen in the past with Lincoln basketball and your style?
Well, It does, and a lot of it, some of that remains to be seen, obviously. But I have no doubt that is a definite possibility for sure.
Okay.
From a shooting standpoint, I think these young men are right there. They're right on that path for sure. It's just a matter of how much are they going to grow, how much are they going to absorb. I mean, Jorge and Paco and Hector, those guys were flat out gym rats, and these young men are as well. And so I always bring those guys up in coaching or whatnot, in conversation, and to let them know just how hard, what it takes, how much work it takes to be as good as those guys were, are nowadays. So
you're young, you have some good parts that are growing. What are your realistic expectations for this year?
Well, we'd like to do better than last year, obviously. Last year was a pretty tough year for us. We only won 7 games, but that culture has been set, and the guys are buying into it for sure. So we want to do better than last year for sure. There were some close games that we dropped. I would like to finish, in the top 3 in the league for sure this year, and obviously, we want to end up qualifying for playoffs again. We really do. So those are some of our short-term goals.
And I'm sure everyone, from top to bottom in that program is aware. Got great coaches, great athletes, people who love basketball. Inside the DPL, it's going to be intense. You're going to have to work for it.
Oh, for sure.
Always fun to watch. We have to ask because, it is an odd season, right? Look at you. You're starting in 2021. What are your reactions, observations with playing basketball with masks on in empty gyms?
Oh, it's been tough for sure. It's unlike anything seen before. That's for sure. We constantly are having to remind the players to keep their masks up because the officials have done a great job of enforcing that as well. Without the fans, it is different for sure. It's different. I mean, we kind of laughed the other day when we played Heritage last night, and Coach Gentry Bielefeld, we're kind of laughing because I was wearing sweats. I mean, that never happens usually, and so there's been just a lot of changes for sure. But hey, at least we still have a season. I mean, it's not ideal, but I'm happy that we were able to have a season because these young men deserve it, especially our seniors.
What makes Colorado special? It's all the places to live and the ones who make them feel like home. It's new opportunities and the ones we share them with. It's finding that one perfect match for every member of the family and finding the bank that helps you make it your own with local mortgage experts who treat your one like the only one. Talk to a lender today. Bank of Colorado. There's only one.